With the recent release of EX01 Classic Collection, the Digimon card game has added another Imperialdramon Dragon mode to the roster. Now, with all the new support, which one do you run in your deck? What's up, Tamers? My name's Ty, and we're talking card games. If you're new to the channel, here at WeTCG, we talk card games. If it's shiny and it's on cardboard, we're probably going to talk about it. If any of this interests you, think about subscribing, and if you find any of the content useful or informative, please hit the like button and comment down below because I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're unfamiliar, there was two Imperialdramon Dragon modes already under the game. One was blue and one was green. With the addition of EX01, now we have another blue Imperialdramon Dragon mode. All three of them do different things, and some do some strategies better than others. So for this video, I'm going to be breaking down what each Imperialdramon was good at, and what will the new support add to the existing Imperialdramons and the newer one. To start this off, we're going to be talking about the 1.5 blue Imperialdramon Dragon mode. The main goal of this Imperialdramon is jamming. If you don't know what jamming does, jamming allows this Digimon can't be deleted in battle against a security Digimon. This allows it so Imperialdramon can swing into security, only fearing option cards. The main strategy for Imperialdramon Blue is pretty simple. It's going to get into Imperialdramon, and you're going to swing. The Imperialdramon, it's the level 5. One of the level 5s of the deck allows it to attack twice by unsuspending itself. If you're new to the game, it's been very meta relevant since it's been released. The game's history, this came out in the second set, and it's been putting in work. But this deck does have some counters and some things, it has bad matchups against, mainly blockers. If they were playing black or they just had blockers on field and they had enough to stop you all the time, it has jamming, but they're not letting you do the swings, and it doesn't matter. Option cards and blockers are this deck's main weakness. But now, with EX01, things are changing. In EX01, there is now a new level 4 Stingmon that has been released. And what Stingmon does, it inheritably has piercing. And its inheritable is if this Digimon has Imperialdramon or free in its typing, it gains piercing. So this allows your Imperialdramon to have piercing. So that mitigates blockers. Another kink in the armor that Imperialdramon suffered was with its other level 5 Dinobemon. Had no inheritable. If you had to evolve over your Dinobemon, it didn't feel good because it had no inheritable, and it wasn't benefiting because the Imperialdramon was just a better option. But you had to run Dinobemon because of Imperialdramon. With EX01, this adds in a new Dinobemon and a new Imperialdramon. The new Imperialdramon is a better option for this blue deck. Reason being, when digivolving, if this Digimon has free in its typing, you can unsuspend it, which that just allows you to unsuspend. So say you swung with your level 3 Vmon that is jamming, you could then evo for 1 and then evo to pass turn into the Imperialdramon to unsuspend it. Another reason why this Imperialdramon is really great for this deck is that while this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, it can't be blocked. With EX01, it really did help this Imperialdramon a lot with the blocking game. Another addition EX01 has granted us was Ice Wall. Ice Wall is an option card. It's a 1 cost, and all your opponent's Digimon gain when attacking, lose 2 memory until the end of their next turn. If you don't know, this card is broken, and that's why it was actually restricted. So come February 25th, this will only be allowed 1 in your deck. But until then, I would run it at 4 until your limit. Another card that EX01 has added is Vmon. If you don't know what this Vmon does, is its inheritable is when this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, you can gain a memory. You can do this once per turn. There was already a Vmon that would do the same thing, but it would draw you a card, and now it has a Vmon that can gain you a memory. So you're able to gain memory, so it's technically lowering the evo cost in a sense because you're evoing, but you're unsuspending, so then you're gaining a memory back. Best way to win in Digimon is drawing a lot of cards and gaining a lot of memory, and this deck does both those things. I feel if you don't have it already, I would definitely get into it because it's a ton of fun. So this is the cards I'm going to be running for my blue Imperialdramon 1.5 jamming. First, I'm going to be running for the Demi Vmon. This one is just inheritable. If you have jamming, you draw 1. Drawing cards is a must in this game. Helps you win. Helps you get your pieces to win. And then the Upamon, the 1 of, it does the same thing, but only if they have no Digi-Evolution. So all my eggs draw me cards, which is great. Next for the rookies, I run 14 rookies. The first, I run 3 of the Vmon from BT2. What this one does is when your Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, you draw 1. This just allows me to draw more cards. Next, I run the Vmon from BT3. This one has jamming. It has no inheritable, but it just has jamming. It's one of the best rookies in the game because it's a level 3 with jamming. You can't beat that. Next, I run 3 of the new EX01 Vmons. When this Digimon becomes unsuspended during your main phase, gain 1 memory. I'm going to be doing that a lot. with this deck, so being able to either draw or gain memory from that is crucial. Next, we're playing 2 of the Madoki Betamon. This is from BT6. It just is a memory blocker. It's just going to stop memory gain. So for the mirror match, it's going to help a lot. And if you can run these in your deck, definitely run them. Next, I run 2 of Dracomon. This one's from the starter deck 8. It's on play. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Add one of the Digimon with Dramon in its name among them and place the remainder at the bottom of the deck. Why this is great? It's a good searcher, but it's going to be searching all your level 5s and your level 6s. So it's going to really help you find the pieces you need to win the game and get into your megas as soon as possible. All right, now on to the level 4s. I run 12 level 4s. First, I run 4 of the Gorillamon. This is just BT1 Gorillamon. It's a 1 Evo 6000. You just run it so it can evolve quick. Next, we're going to be running 4 of the new EX01 Stingmon. This is going to allow my Imperialdramon to gain piercing, not having to worry about blocking now. Next, I run 2 of the Grizzlymon, which is just the 6,000 blocker. But I think with the current meta and how everything is shaping, the 2 Evo 6,000 blockers are the way to go. And next, to round off the level 4s, we have 2 Lobomons. These are game enders. They can evolve over Tamers. Next, we're going to be going into the level 5s. We run 8. We run 4 of the BT3 Imperialdramon. This is the one that has jamming and it allows your Imperialdramon to unsuspend. This has pretty much been the main goal of the previous adaptations of Imperialdramon, so you're always going to run this in my opinion. Next is the new EX01 Imperialdramon. This one is it lets you unsuspend when it digivolves, and then its inheritable is when this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its name, it can't be blocked. So if you aren't able to get the Stingmon piercing, you're able to then go into the Imperialdramon, so you can still at least do security checks and blockers aren't gonna halt you as much. Then we're running 4 of the blue BT3 Imperialdramon from set 1.5. This is just, it's your main mega. You're going to run 4 of it. I don't run any more. Previous, I ran at least one Nidhogg, but because I don't have any level 5s that are green, I opted to cut that out. Next, I run 2 of the Blitz Omni. This came out in BT5. This one is just another game ender. It's going to, when Digivolve, unsuspend, and it has Blitz. It can still swing even if it passes memory over. This and the Lobomon are your kind of win cons. Next, we run 7 option cards. The first one option card, we're running 1 of the Rattlestar. Came out in BT6. This is play cost of 5, main. Return one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon to your hand, and then if they have 3 or more Digimon in play, return 1 to the bottom of the deck. That one doesn't matter for level, so especially with Jessamon, this is going to be able to send your Jessamon to the bottom of the deck, because most of the time, Jessamon has at least 3 or more Digimon in play. Next, we're running 4 of the Ice Wall. This came out in EX01. This card is going to be limited come February 25th, so easy replacement is switching the Ice Walls for the Hammer Spark, because in this deck I only run 1 Hammer Spark. Switching the order after the ban, the way to go for at least the option lineup. Next, I run 1 of the Memory Boost. This one is reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 blue Digimon card to your hand, place them right into the bottom of the deck, and then its delayed effect is gain 2 memory. Reason I run this one in here instead of Analog Youth is this deck also can, if you don't have the Omnimon but you have the Lobomon in hand, being able to delay, gain the 2 memory just to be able to finish it off more relevant. And then I run, for the Tamers, I run 3 Davis. Davis is just the memory fixer of the deck. He can go in any Imperialdramon deck, but he just allows you to reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 green and 1 blue to your hand, place them manually to the bottom. It goes really well with Imperialdramon, so that's why, and he's a memory fixer, so you can't beat that. So you want to run it at 3 so you can search. This deck has a lot of searchability, it has a lot of drawing cards, multiple win cons, and it does a lot of damage very quick. It's a very aggressive deck. I'm going to be releasing another deck list for this after the ban has been, or the restriction has been applied, so stay tuned for that. Next Imperial we're going to be talking about is the green one from 1.5. It was the secret rare of that set, and it hasn't really seen much play. But with this new support it gets, I think this is going to be an amazing deck, and I'm definitely really excited to play this one. If you can't tell, I love Imperialdramon. What the green Imperialdramon does, it does the same thing as, the blue one, where if it evolves over Pyodramon or Dino Beamon, it can reduce the Digievolution by 2, so making it a 3. What this one does differently is piercing. If you don't know what piercing is when this Digimon attacks and deletes an opponent's Digimon and survives the battle, it performs any security check as it normally would. So this allows you to control your board a lot more by, attacking into your opponent's Digimon and then still doing your security checks. The main problem, what this deck had and why it probably didn't see too much play, was the fact that jamming is just a stronger, ability than piercing, because if they don't have any Digimon on field, piercing really doesn't do anything. Jamming always works. It's always going to apply when you attack in security. That is why I believe the green one wasn't as, sought after and played, wasn't as meta relevant. With this new EX01 support, I believe this deck is going to be bonkers, and I'm so excited to play it. The main reason why this deck is going to be so good coming up is with the XVmon from EX01. If you don't know what this does, it just has jamming as is, which is always a nice feature, and then its inheritable is when this Digimon has Imperialdramon or free in its typing, it gains jamming. So now, same as the blue one, now you can inheritably give jamming into this Imperialdramon. So now, both the blue and the green Imperialdramon can have piercing and jamming. Now, it just depends on which one you rather play. The green one can control the board better. If you don't know what it does, it has piercing, and once per turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon and survives, you can unsuspend it. Just on its own, the green Imperialdramon can attack twice. But if you pair that up with the Pyldramon underneath it, it can attack 3 times. Same as the blue one, but just in a different way. Another support that is added is a new Dinobemon. The Dinobemon EX01, I believe, is just better than the Dinobemon from the 1.5 set. 1.5 set, it has jamming and piercing, which is super nice, but it has no inheritable. This one has, when Digivolving, if this Digimon has a card with free in its traits, this Digimon, in its Digievolution, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon 5,000 DP or less. Just evolving into this guy, you can suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Its inheritable is when your Digimon with Imperialdramon and its name is deletes an opponent's Digimon, and survives, you gain a memory. So now, and that's not once per turn. So if you have Dinobemon paired underneath, you can swing twice with Imperialdramon and gain 2 memory. Technically, this Imperialdramon a 1 evo cost, which is crazy. And if you don't know, green has a ton of ways to suspend opponent's Digimon and gain DP due to the fact that they have suspended Digimon. So it's not going to have a problem hitting over other Digimon. So now here is my mock green Imperialdramon deck list. After some playtesting, I'll be able to really, definitively map it out. But as of now, this is how I'm going to start. For the babies, we're running 4 Pinamon. Pinamon's inheritable is if you attack an opponent's Digimon, you draw 1. Just getting draw power is always great. This was the first draw engine for green. Having that as a 4 of is, I think, solid. And then having the 1 of a minimum. If you're playing green, you always play 5 eggs. Doesn't matter, always play 5. This one does, if you attack an opponent's Digimon, you gain 1,000. Piercing's our game for this one. For the level 3s, we're running 14. In the 14, we're running 3 of the Tentomon. This is from BT1. What this Tentomon does, its inheritable is you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 or less. This just allows you when you attack to be able to suspend something else, because Imperialdramon really benefits from multiple things getting suspended so it can attack a bunch of different ones. Next, I run 3 of the Agumon. Agumon, its inheritable is your Digimon gets 1,000 on your turn. This is just a way to just boost the DP, which you need if you're going to be attacking over things. Next, I'm running 4 of the Palmon. This is from the starter deck. What Palmon does is when attacking, if you attack an opponent's Digimon, you gain 2,000 for the turn. So the Palmon's going to, allow you to swing over. Next, I run 2 of the Terriermon. This is from BT3. What Terriermon does is just allows your opponent to not gain memory except from TAMERS. This is really good for the mirror match, for sure. Your color can run any of these memory blockers. You're going to want. The last rookies I run is Kakuamon. And what Kakuamon does is an inheritable. This Digimon is level 6 or higher. It gains security attack +1. A lot of people don't like this card or don't run it as much is because it has the 1 evo. Even if you evolve it over your egg, you could possibly be passing turn if it's the first evo, but that's why I run it at 2 of. I think the benefits that this card can bring, say Imperialdramon, I get 3 swings with him with the security attack +1. Swing 1, do 2 checks. Swing another one, do 2 more checks. Swing for the 3rd time, do 2 more checks. And that's all their security gone. I think it can play a lot of value. We're going to have to see as we play test to see if I'm running it a 1 of or running it a more of. We'll see. Stay tuned because I'm going to be updating all of these Imperialdramon lists after the restriction list on February 25th. So next, we're going to run the EX01 jamming XVmon. This is a blue Digimon, but it can evolve over a green or blue, so that's not an issue. And this is the one that it has jamming, and then it will, give my Imperialdramon jamming. So that's why we're going to run that at a 4 of. Next, we're running is 4 of the Kabuterimon from BT1. This thing's inheritable is that it gets 1,000 for every of your opponent's suspended Digimon. This is just going to allow you to gain DP so you can swing over some things, because if you don't get the jamming, you're going to want to have a high DP. That's why you run this at a 4. And then the next card I run is Gargomon from BT3. It does the same exact thing. It just has a different DP and a different play cost. Gives 1,000 for each opponent's suspended Digimon. So I'm either going to be having jamming or going to be gaining a ton of DP for my Digimon. And then next I run 2 of the Woodmon blockers. Reason being is you need at least some type of blocker. The 6,000 blockers have a better impact than the 1 Evo ones, but you know, we'll see. If I don't feel the blocking is extremely necessary, like it's only occasional, I might switch these out for the 1 cost. But you know, these 6,000 DP blockers, they're harder to get over in a sense, with BT6 meta being, you know, either Jesmon, which blockers don't matter, or some form of rookie rush. And the 6,000 is a lot nicer than the 5,000. So that is the level 4s. I run 12. Now for the level 5s, we're running 8 because you need to. We're running 4 of the BT3 Imperialdramon. This is the one that has jamming and lets your Imperialdramon unsuspend itself and swing it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Next thing we're going to be running is 4 of the new Dino Beamon from EX01. It just, as I explained, it's going to let you know suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and every time your Imperialdramon swings over and deletes an opponent's Digimon, it gains a memory. You're either going to be unsuspending to attack 3 times, or you'll be attacking twice and gaining 2 memory. Either way, pretty set off. And we're going to be running 4 of the Imperialdramon Dragon modes. I'm just running 4 of these guys. I don't really feel the need to run any more megas, because this is the one you want to see. Only time will tell. Especially if you're playing more of the green side of things, you could always try to run Nidhogg, but or that's completely up to you. But I feel Imperialdramon can clear board just as well. Maybe not just as well, but in a different way, it can clear board. Next, we're running 4 total Tamers, but the first 2 Tamers we're running is Mimi from a BT1. This one is your memory fixer. It's going to put you to 3 memory, so you can go into your Imperialdramon without passing turn. And this one has, if you have a level 5 or higher green Digimon in play, you can suspend the Tamer to hatch a Digi-Egg, or bring it out from the breeding area. This is your kind of win con. You can use this to, you could use the Imperialdramon to take out all the security, and then go into a level 3 over your egg, and then tap Mimi to just bring him out to swing for game. This is your better way of doing that. You could always, if you wanted to, add the hybrid cards, but this deck's pretty tight with adding things in, so we'll see as time goes on. Next, we're running 2 of the new EX01 Analog Youth. This one is a 2 play cost. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card from among them to your hand, and trash the remaining. So that's kind of the only problem with this one. It's going to trash them. But with you running, blues and greens, I don't want to run memory boost, because, I could easily send all 3, say I did 3 Imperialdramons or 1 Imperialdramon X Vmon, then some of my key pieces to the bottom because they're blue. And this is mainly a green build, with the blue being still important to the overall strategy of the deck. So this one allows me to at least take 1 of them. Another thing of why this one's great is all turns when your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digi-Evolution cards is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory and then hatch 1 Digi-Egg to empty in your breeding area. So this allows you could possibly pass turn with this effect, and paired with Mimi can clear your breeding area relatively easily, so then this allows that to also, redo the egg, and it could possibly pass turn with the gaining of 1 memory. Next, I'm running 8 option cards. Now, the option cards for this deck, because Imperialdramon really focuses on swinging over things, I want to have ways to suspend stuff as much as possible, so we're going to run 4 of the Needle Spray. Reason I'm running 4 Needle Spray instead of Flower Cannon is because they do the same thing, they're the same cost. The only difference is, in security, this one will activate the card's main effect, and then it will come to my hand. I don't know how many times I could tell you, but I've had Flower Cannon save me, and I've also had Flower Cannon completely lose me because it didn't matter. They swung all their stuff, and then their last guy swung, checked the Flower Cannon. So it didn't matter, and the Flower Cannon had no effect pretty much because they were already all suspended, and I didn't get it in the hand. So this one allows it will still activate, and even if all of their Digimon are already suspended, you're at least getting it in the hand, so you can still use it on your turn. Next, we're running 2 of the Positron Laser. This is from BT3. This one's main, it's a 6 play cost. Its main is 2 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn, and then if you have a blue Digimon in play, return 1 of your opponent's suspended Digimon to their hand. That part maybe won't happen as much, but if it does, that's super nice. But having it so 2 of them can't attack or block, that was a good stall card. And then security does the same. This one's kind of my weird tech that I think is going to work really well with this deck. It is Hornbuster. Hornbuster is BT1. Its main it's a 1 cost, and your Digimon gains 3,000 for the turn. So just giving that additional DP is great for this deck, allowing your Imperialdramon to get real big so it can swing over things, kind of a must. So having that is good. But also why I wanted to run this, its security effect is suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon and then add this to hand. So it's just kind of like another Needle Spray. So I technically in security have 6 Needle Spray options, which is really great. And all of it's going to add it back to hand so I can use it on my turn. So that is that is the green Imperialdramon deck list. Definitely give it a try and give me your thoughts about it, or excited as I am for this, because if you don't know, I started the game off with green, and I only got into Imperialdramon because I didn't attack enough. I was very control based, so I played Sarismon, so I didn't attack enough, so I made a really aggressive deck, so I learned when is it good to attack and things like that. So being able to full circle go back to a green Imperialdramon is really cool. Now in EX01, they have their own new Imperialdramon. And what this Imperialdramon does, different compared to the other two, is it doesn't have jamming or piercing. It has the ability to inherently get them. The best way to explain this Imperialdramon, in my opinion, is if you're not sure which Imperialdramon to play and you don't know if you'd rather the piercing or rather the jamming, you're going to play this one because it could do either. This Imperialdramon's adaptable. Depending on your situation in your game, you can play it either way. And I think that's why this one, has its own strength. Do I think this Imperialdramon is better at jamming than the other one? No. Is this one better at piercing than the other one? No. Those two, they're really good at what they do. If those options aren't working, you can use this Imperialdramon to switch it up a bit. When in Digivolving, this Digimon, if it has at least 3 in its Digievolution, you can unsuspend it and suspend one of your opponent's Tamers. So that plays really well. Either if it has jamming, it will able just to swing again, and then if it doesn't have jamming and it has piercing, it's able to swing over something to gain the piercing ability. It's pretty simple. This one really works well with all of the support it got in the set. These cards were kind of intended for this deck. This Imperialdramon is honestly the best of both worlds. It evolves for 3. It doesn't have any stipulation on the level 5s. Gains DP from having different colors in its Digievolution, and it can either have jamming or piercing. I think for new players not knowing which one to get into, and especially not wanting to put the money into either the green or the blue Imperialdramon from the previous sets, this one's a good one to get into to see which strategy you would like, and then either sticking with this one or then going into the other ones. Or this is going to be what my deck list is going to be for this one, or my suggestion of a deck list, because I'm not sure if I will be playing this one. I'm going to definitely give it a try. So we're rerunning 5 eggs as normal. We're going to be running 3 of the Upamon and 2 of the Demi V. Reason being, we're not always going to have jamming, so I don't want to max out on that one. I could easily go to the 4 Upamon and 1 Demi V, and that might be the better option. I didn't want to make it as carbon copy as the other ones, so I'm going to switch it up a bit. The level 3s, the exact same as my blue one. 3 of the Vmon, the draws cards, 4 of the Vmon that just has jamming, 2 of the memory blockers, 3 of the new Vmon that are going to gain a memory if it unsuspends, and 2 of the Dracomons that are going to search. Where I switch it up a bit is in the level 4 department. So in level 4s, I run 4 of the EX01 Vmon that has jamming and with the inheritable ability of giving jamming. And then I run 4 of the Stingmon that have piercing and then inheritably can give piercing. I just want to really play into the being very flexible on what strategy you would rather run in your whatever matchup you're doing. The only difference I'm running, instead of Lobomon, I'm running 2 of the XVmon from BT3. This one, when Digivolving, you can unsuspend a level 4 or lower. So I can use this to unsuspend the Vmon that has jamming to swing again, or I could use it to unsuspend itself if I, evolve it over the Vmon with jamming. So I can swing with the jamming and then evolve over it to unsuspend. It's a good way to either end games or, be very defensive minded by not letting your things get swung over. And then I'm running 2 of the Grizzlymon starter deck blockers. This one I definitely could switch these guys to the 1 Evo, so I have at least some 1 evolution for this deck, but it really depends on your situation. I just think the 6Ks are better overall. So next for the level 5 department, we're running 8, and we're running all the Imperialdramons. We're running the 4 from BT3, and then we're running the 4 from EX01. They just are, I feel, better for what this strategy is. I easily could run, if we really wanted to, go crazy and really go into the new set with all the new cards. You could go into the 4 of the newer Dino Beamon, so then you really can benefit from either the Stingmon or the XVmon. But I think this Imperialdramon is just a better overall, but it's really up to you. Next, we're running 4 of the new Imperialdramon from EX01. This one's just, it's the main boss monster. You're going to run 4 of it. Next, I run 2 of the Blitz Omni. This is just the game ender. It's a lot easier to hit than, you already have the level 6, so you just go into the Omni end game. For the option cards, sorry I'm going quicker on this one because I've explained these cards enough on the other ones. so I'm going to be going a little faster. I'm running 1 of the Rattlestar, 4 of the Ice Wall, and 1 of the Hammer Spark. And as I said before, once the ban list or the restriction list is active after February 25th, just switch the Ice Wall for the Hammer Spark. Just flip-flop them, and you'll be solid to keep this ratio. Next, I'm running 2 of the Memory Booster Blues. Reason I'm running 2 of them is because I only have 4 green in this deck. If you end up playing more of the newer Dinobemon instead of the old Imperialdramon, then maybe running just flat out 3 Davis and 1 Analog Boy might be 1 Analog Youth might be better for you. Next, I'm running 2 of the Davis. This is just the memory fixer of this deck. I'm only running 2 of it because there is no Lobomon, so I'm not evolving over any of them. So I think running 2 Tamers, if you're not going to be using the hybrids to win game, is pretty good. And it's a good searcher, but you have enough searching with the Dracomon, the Memory Booster, and then also just inheritably drawing a bunch of cards, because that's what blue does really well. This is my EX01 Imperialdramon, so if you have any suggestions, definitely comment down below. And for honestly all these decks, I'd love to hear what you're running, and I'd really like to have a game and test these decks on you guys. So if you want to possibly have games in play, think about joining our Discord down below. Message me on there, and then we can have a game or 2. It's a really great community, and we have a lot of people from Pokemon, we got some Digimon, we got some guys from Final Fantasy, we got some Dragon Ball players. We have a wide variety, so whatever game you're into, there's probably going to be someone there who can at least have a chat. So definitely think about joining the Discord. So final thoughts and what I think about Imperialdramon as a whole this set is pretty simple. EX01 has made Imperialdramon so much better. Honestly, whatever route you run, the blue one from 1.5, the green one from 1.5, or possibly the blue one from EX01, either way, you're going to be having a ton of fun, because Imperialdramon's a really aggressive deck, and it's a lot of fun to play. And it's simple too. It's very good for beginners as well, because it's cut and dry. Get to Imperialdramon as quick as you can so you can attack and do a lot of damage. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found any of this info informative or helpful, definitely think about subscribing and giving this video a like. Catch you guys all in the next one. My name is Ty, and we just talked card games. See you.